All right, today we've got a story that I think might really change the way you look at something as simple as a job interview. It's about a young woman named Janelle and her journey to find work. Well, it teaches us a massive lesson about unlocking potential that's hidden all around us. So, let's just dive right in.
So here's where we start. At 23, Janelle wanted a job. I mean, who doesn't, right? We all get that. But look at that second part. Interviews were overwhelming. That's not just, I get nervous. Overwhelming is a whole different level. And that one word right there, it tells you everything. The system, the standard way we do things, just wasn't built for her.
Okay, so let's frame this up. On one hand, you've got this totally normal goal, and on the other, a massive barrier standing in the way. When we think about getting a job, it's so easy to just focus on the paycheck. But it's way, way more than that, isn't it? It's about having a purpose, being part of a team, a community. It's that feeling of independence. And that's exactly what Janelle was looking for. Not just money, but a place where she could fit in and contribute. And this is really the core of it all. It wasn't about Janelle's ability. She wanted to work. She was capable of working. The problem, the real hurdle, was the interview process itself. And it really makes you stop and think, right? How many times do we see someone struggle with a system and automatically think the person is the problem, instead of asking if maybe, just maybe, the system is broken? So, okay, the interview is the problem. But why? What was it about that process that was such a challenge? Let's take a step back and really try to understand what was going on here. Seriously, just put yourself in that interview room for a second. The bright lights, the questions coming at you one after another. You're supposed to make small talk, maintain perfect eye contact, come up with brilliant answers on the spot. It's like being on stage. It's a high-pressure performance, and yeah, that's stressful for anyone. But for some people, it's not just stressful. It's basically an impossible situation. And this is where we get to the specifics for Janelle. She has fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, or FASD. And for a lot of people with FASD, that super intense, high-pressure social stuff, like a job interview, can be a massive wall. The light bulb moment here is realizing the issue isn't whether she can do the job, it's that the test we're using to see if she can do the job is a bad test. Okay, so we have this huge barrier. What do you do? Well, this is where the story takes a turn. This is the solution that changed, well, pretty much everything for Janelle. The answer is something called supported work. And what I love about this idea is how it completely flips the script. Instead of saying, hey, you need to change to fit into our rigid box, it says, let's change the box to fit you. It's all about building a bridge for someone, focusing on their strengths, on what they can do, not what they can't.
And what did this bridge look like in real life? Well, it was actually pretty simple. Two main things. First, she got a patient job coach. Think of this person as a kind of translator and champion, someone in her corner. And second, some really simple accommodations at the workplace. We're not talking about a total overhaul here, just stuff like getting instructions written down or having a set schedule. Tiny changes, really, but they made all the difference.
So what happens when you take away that barrier, when you build that bridge? The result, it goes way beyond just getting a paycheck. I mean, look at this. This comparison says everything, doesn't it? From overwhelming interviews to thriving in a bakery. It's just, wow, that's the power of this approach right there. In a nutshell, that's the before and after picture. And this quote, this is the heart of the whole story. She doesn't just bake bread, she's building confidence. Think about that. The most important thing happening at that bakery wasn't the bread. It was Janelle building herself up, becoming more confident, more independent. That's the real product here. That is the transformation we're talking about. Okay, let's zoom out one last time, because Janelle's story is amazing, but it's not just one feel-good story, it's an example of a much, much bigger idea. Because when we talk about inclusion, it's not a charity thing, it's a win-win-win. The person, like Janelle, unlocks their potential. The business gets an amazing, loyal employee. And the whole community gets stronger because we're not wasting anyone's talent. Janelle's story proves something so simple yet so profound. Talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not. And it's on us to create those opportunities. So that's the big question this story leaves us with, right? It just makes you wonder. If we stopped focusing on the old, broken hurdles and started focusing on building bridges, what other potential is out there? Just imagine how much talent is sitting right in our own neighborhoods, waiting for a chance, just waiting to be unlocked.